And we are joined now by former NORAD Director of Operations, a retired Canadian Major General Scott Clancy. General, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So you heard John Kirby's explanation there. I am curious, though. I just want to know right off the bat, if you know, is this China, these other three? We know that the balloon has been attributed to China, but who else could it be? Why now?
So that's a great question. I think that all Canadians and Americans want answers to those same questions. And I think the vast majority of the keys to those lie in the debris that both of our nations are trying to recover. Why now? And is this China? I think that attribution to the origins of these other devices is, you wouldn't want to start to speculate on that, because that's going to lead to diplomatic and security implications to the relationship with China. So therefore, don't do that. I think that's the prudent way forward.
So Mike Pompeo gave an interview, and he is the former Secretary of State. He's the former director of the CIA. He might be running for president. He hasn't officially announced yet, but here's a look at what he had to say about these phenomena.
Isn't it weird that it happened and no one was aware of it at the time? Like,
what's it?
That there were balloons in American airspace.
Well, nobody's confirmed that that's true. No, nobody's confirmed that there were balloons the size of 3 buses transiting continental United States. I haven't seen anybody confirm. I don't know. I'm certainly not aware that that happened. I can't imagine that that happened on our watch.
That is Mike Pompeo responding to claims that this has happened before during the Trump administration, during the time he would have been in office. And he says you can't confirm it, and we don't know that that really happened. So what do you make of that? Is this common? Has this happened before? Or is Secretary Pompeo there right, that no confirmation and we have no idea?
So there's been a lot of reports concerning, unidentified flying objects, if you wish, and a lot of discussion concerning whether or not balloons like the one that China flew across Canadian and American airspace has occurred in the past. The Pentagon briefing just recently stated categorically that there was. I think that's looking back and perhaps using some intelligence to confirm that that has happened in the past. When I was the director of operations for NORAD, each and every single radar contact or intelligence queuing that we got were investigated. However, you have to have a persistent radar signature to be able to go and investigate and launch aircraft onto it. I can state categorically that Canada and the United States are very well protected by NORAD because we respond to every single one of those persistent contacts. And that's kind of by treating each one discreetly and individually on its own merit. That's how you really respond to categorical military threats.
A threat? That is an interesting word to use. You believe this is a threat?
No, what I believe is that when you get cued to a radar contact, like the balloons, like these objects, the first thing you're going to do is react in order to confirm. So, in the instance of all of these, fighter jets were scrambled and identification gets done. That way you can delineate between that which is a military threat or which is just an object. Secretary Austin was very clear that none of these posed a military threat, but that's because aircraft from NORAD were scrambled, intercepted these, and then identified exactly what they were and what they were not. And that allowed NORAD to characterize or describe those to the decision makers in Canada and the United States so that they could make good decisions.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.